and tribulations, the ups, the downs. I remember when I was working at, eating better. Do you know how, chickens used to call me? I would dream of chickens. They was in my sleep. Dr. B!
God damn.
I remember I was in the store one time. This is real science here. I was over buying greens. I said, I'm just going to get greens. That's the only thing I'm going to get is greens. Greens and black eyed peas. So I was over near the greens, and guess what? Yeah. What comes over the store on the PA system? All right, everybody. Right now, the chicken is on sale. Get one wing, get 1,000 free. Right now, over in your chicken aisle. Use your club coupon and get one pack of 48 wings and get another one for free. My subconscious said, you can't let that go. We got to go over there and get that chicken. You know you the chicken master. This was in my left ear. My other ear was like, you ain't supposed to be eating that stuff. You ain't supposed to be eating that stuff. But the saboteur, right, in my head was extremely strong. Because I love chicken because I love my family. A lot of times you love certain foods because you love your family, and the family connects to those foods, and you feel like love. How you going to be at the Thanksgiving meal and you sitting up eating, a tofurkey? Everybody else is eating real turkey, they eating, and you got this other stuff that you eat.
That's a great point.
Because it's love connected to the idea of certain things. So I went over to the chicken. I left the greens aisle. I'm being honest. And I looked at them chickens. And for the first time, something hit my brain. Why are there hundreds and hundreds of chicken wings and only about 8 whole chickens? Why is it just wings? Where all these wings come from? Where's the rest of the chickens? And why they got these funny little bruise marks on them? I started looking at them. And then there was a funny smell that came over, right? I could smell. What is that smell? And at that point, there was a shift in me. And I wanted to know why there was all these chicken wings. And when I found out from the farmer the truth, it blew my mind. That these chicken wings come from downer birds that were sick, birds that were diseased. And Dr. Mahdi is probably going to talk about that. I don't know if he's going to talk about that on Saturday, but he actually will tell you as a person that was there on the chicken, manufacturing, assembly line. I'm not saying it just right. On the assembly line. It was plant-based chickens. You heard what I said. Plant-based. It just means it was in a plant, made in a plant. The point here is that something usually happens where you wake up to what's going on. And you've got to move past the stress and the pain, because it was really hard for me to walk away from the chicken. They were calling me everywhere I went. I could smell chicken on the corner. It was, you know what I'm saying? There was Popeyes, and I wanted to know why it was called Popeyes. When I found out why it was called Popeyes and what it does to the thyroid, how the thyroid has a lot to do with your eyes, and your eyes begin to, oh man, it got deep as I began to realize. But I had to have that drama and that trauma in my head and that visual picture of what was happening with the chicken farms. They were chickens. They weren't even chickens, half of them. This is not the natural chicken. It was chickens. But my point is that every step of the way on the ladder of ascension, there is a negative or disagreeable force pulling you down to test you. You will be tested. This is not going to be easy. If you're looking for the easy road, then stay off of this road. If you're looking to find just pushing a button and all of a sudden, boom, you're there. You're the ascended master. Then you're not on the right road. That's a fake one. That's the metaverse, huh? And then you got the metaverse. Then you got the messiverse, and the messiverse is the mess that you in because you weren't ready to go through whatever. So now you're domesticated, and if you're domesticated, that means there's a dome over you, and there's a dome over you because you've been created, you've been crossbred, you've been lied to. You've been through all of that stuff during the age of deception, and you live on that farm mentally, and you're not ready to jump over the fence and be the black sheep because you're scared. And if you're full of fear after so long, right, you become inferior and you have an inferiority complex and everything is little and you're always talking disagreeable about everything. And even if you actually see some success, you'll go back and erase it and go back to what you used to do. You're always backsliding because you're not ready to go through it all. Now, if you're ready to go through it and you realize it's going to be storms, it's going to be wind, there's going to be, there's so many things. When I was doing my first cleanse, do you know how much pain I was in? The griping in my belly. Do you know what it took? But see, I had something happen to me. They told me I was about to die. So I had a different, goal here. I would like to live. And when they tell you something like that, all of a sudden, well, okay, now wait a minute now. If I eat one more chicken wing, because I had my quota. So you don't know what your quota is of a certain food. If you knew your quota, you can only eat 7,542 chicken wings. If you eat one more, it could take you out. If you knew that. But you don't. My point here is that you will be tested. You must go through hormesis to get to the other level. Otherwise, it's not real. It's the metaverse. It's the messiverse. You are domesticated and you're not ready to break through the dome. I went off on a tangent.
That's powerful stuff. And this powerful stuff, Doctor.
I'm not telling people don't eat chicken either. So you eat what you like. Don't listen to Doc. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm telling you what I do.
Right. No, that was a powerful story right there, Doc. I want to take a few questions before we get out of here, Doc. So I'm gonna if you got questions in the chat, you could post it. We just doing a few. We got about 20 more minutes left. So Doc's going to give a brief answer and we're going to keep it moving. Doc, I want to make an announcement real quick. We got over 2,000 people in the chat. Want to let y'all know, for everybody in Atlanta, I want all y'all to come out here, even if you're not from Atlanta. March 9th is going down in Atlanta. Me and Cambada are finally releasing the album Holy Ghost 3 to streaming platforms. And we're celebrating, because we're talking about celebrating your life. We're having a Holy Ghost 3 themed party at a spot in Atlanta called Industry ATL. It's going to be off the hook. I want all of y'all to come out there. It's going to be food, fun, dancing. What's going to be amazing is Doctah B actually, it's from 8 to 1 in the morning. We're going to be playing tracks from all 3 of the Holy Ghost albums, as well as other music as well. But we're going to be playing tracks from all 3 Holy Ghost albums. What's amazing is that for about 30 minutes, Doctah B is going to do what we're calling a golden age music ritual. I guess we could call it that. And we're going to open up the night with that. And it's going to be a powerful ceremony. It's like a golden age music ceremony. We might name it ceremonies. Ritual might scare people. But let's say a golden age music ceremony where he's going to be playing drums, and he's going to go in for about 30 minutes and tap into some deep frequencies, deep cymatic frequencies. And we're going to get the party started with Doctah B for about a half an hour. And then we're going to have fun the rest of the night. So I want all of y'all to come out. This is March 9th, family. The door tickets will be sold at the door. I might do advanced tickets as well, but tickets will only be about $20. So it'll only be about $20, some 20, 30, something like that. But I want all y'all to come out. Doctah B is going to be there, Red, Blue, KT. It's going to be a lot of conscious people, the speakers you see on the channel that will be there, that will be present. But yeah, if you're in Atlanta, I see a couple of y'all saying y'all coming out. If you're in Atlanta, even if you're not in Atlanta, March 9th is going down. I will have a flyer soon. I'm going to be promoted real soon. So yeah, make sure y'all shout out to Boss Life. Boss Life said she's coming out. I look forward to seeing you there, Boss Life, everybody else. But Doctah B, man, what me and you talked about in this music ceremony that you're doing with the drumming and the chanting and everything else, man, I'm looking forward to that. And I want to thank you for participating in this grand moment of celebration with the brother me and Cambada as we embark on this golden age of music worldwide, Doctah B, because we're definitely I'm going to change the frequency. I appreciate all your help, my brother. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad to come out and assist and share with you know, some of this vibration that's happening right now. We are going through a serious metamorphosis. And I guess this would be a good segue to get into this next piece. Metamorphosis is a very science for a long time couldn't get their head around how the caterpillar could become a butterfly and not have the same DNA. You know, they're not related. The caterpillar actually dies in the cocoon, and later on comes back to life, or not back to life, a new life emerges as the butterfly. Butterfly flies where it pleases and pleases where it flies. There's something called the butterfly effect. And this concept was laughed at first, where somebody came up with the theory that a butterfly could flap its wings, one butterfly, and create a storm, a typhoon, or an earthquake, or a huge event all the way around the world. They laughed at this guy. Then the studies of quantum physics arose. And we realized that the quantum particle is only one. There's only one little particle that makes up everything. And when you look at the particle, this one small little thing, it affects everything and is everything, which has a lot to do with what we're looking at, what we're seeing, what our perception is creating, because we're creating with our perception. The world is not the same for everybody. A strawberry does not taste the same. In fact, no two people have the same taste buds. No two people have the same eyes, the same ears. No two snowflakes are the same. These little small events, like the butterfly flapping its wings at a certain frequency, can affect the whole world. They realized after they got deep into the quantum sciences that this is a fact. That what you do, how you live, no matter how small and contained you think your world and your idea is, you affect everything. When you get this and you realize that you need to flap your wings at a certain frequency, and not think that you are alone and by yourself and you don't matter. You do matter. Everything is matter. Everything is made of matter. And what you think matters. What your quantum, the waves that come from your brain hit the quantum field, and after a while, that repetition causes the waves to collapse into matter. What you say matters. How you talk matters. That's why we're doing this class. This class is so important. There's never been anything like this. This is, you know, God power left us in a very special place. The whole God power event. If you haven't taken it, you still can. It's on some of our sites. The next section in between, because we're going to be doing another God power. I don't care what you say, Brother Rich. We're doing God power 3. We doing it. All right. Me and Billy done talked about we doing it. Now you down or what? I can't leave the people just hanging. But between that, there's some pieces that need to be covered. The soulful science, because a lot of science don't have no soul. A lot of science is some stuff that some people put together that's very analytical, that's supposed to prove something, but nothing in science is actually truly provable, because what? Just because it happened 3 times the same way, you're going to say it's a law? It's an act. It's the difference between a law and an act. We think we know what the sun is made out of. No, we know exactly. Have you been to the sun? You tell me somebody been to the sun and came back and tell me what it's made out of. Well, it's a plasma energy. And what it is, and it's one day it will burn out. How you know the sun gonna burn out? How you know everybody came from the same place in Africa from Lucy? If they found the original human Lucy in the Olduvai Gorge, they dug one hole. Didn't dig in my backyard. How you know the original human ain't out in my backyard right now? And who is the original human? What is human? What does that mean? See, these are all concepts. We came here as mycelium. We're part of the mycelium network. 65% of our DNA is what? Mushroom. We're related more to them than anything else, but you don't want to get into that because that gets a little deep. My point is that most of what you know is based on somebody else's theories. A lot of times the theories and the science that we're getting is a Western mindset which has no soul in it. It has no real soul, no feeling in it, because it's been sliced up. And they say for it to be science, you got to take all the feeling out of it. You got to take all the emotion out of it, all the philosophies. What? For it to be real, for it to be science. And you know, the science, they draw these graphs. Once you see them graphs, your mind, but the cognitive dissonance kicks in and you think you know what you're seeing. And they drew it on a graph. Well, the science says, what does science? Science ain't said nothing. Science don't speak. The scientists are people who make stuff up. And it's based on a theory. A lot of us here are scientists right now. We're making this thing up where this is like a huge hologram that we're creating. This is a huge, it's a holographic universe. We're creating this. So we're saying we got to put some soul back into science. We got to put love back into it. We got to feel something again. So our class is called the Soulful Science of Change. Change, like we said, metamorphosis, going through the shifts that actually create the next level of our ascension. And metamorphosis, we've got to go from being a caterpillar. You know, all the caterpillar does is eat. That's all it does. Don't have no reproductive organs, no fun, no orgasms, nothing. It just eats. It even eats at night. And they eat to a point, right, where they start eating themselves to death. Inside the caterpillar are little teeny things that are right around the DNA. They look like little flying saucers. They look like little ships, little planes. They're called imaginal cells. Now, they've been in a quiet state. They have not been moving in the life of the caterpillar. They look like just little particles. As the caterpillar begins to decline, all of a sudden, the imaginal cells come alive. And they become active. They begin to move. And the imaginal cells begin to collect. They have this energy that, you know, this energy that pulls them together. They have this thing that creates the gluon state where they begin to stick together like Legos. And they're building something, right? And the caterpillar's body, the immune system, doesn't recognize these new things. So even though the caterpillar's dying on its last breath, its immune system is trying to attack these imaginal cells. Some of the imaginal cells don't make it, but they keep clumping together because they have a telos. They know what they got to do. They're on a mission, right? No matter what happens, no matter what rain, no matter what storm, no matter what war goes on, guess what? The imaginal cells are focusing on ascension. Finally, what happens is the caterpillar makes the cocoon, which is a chrysalis, which is a crystal cave. And inside that cocoon, it's very dark. It's a cave, a crystal cave where the caterpillar dies on the cross. And it's usually in a cross, right? A crawl space or a place in between two sticks. It dies on the stem. It dies under a leaf. And in that cocoon, the imaginal cells begin to create something new. Guess what the first thing they create? The first thing the imaginal cells create in the cocoon are the antennae, the antenna. Why? Because the first thing the butterfly is going to need is a message. From the message, it's going to know what it should be. It needs to be able to tap into the cosmos. Like your hair, right? Their antenna. Right? You need to be getting a message. A lot of people can't get a clear message because of what they done did to their hair and their scalp and all that kind of stuff, trying to look like something, trying to be somebody else. Your hair reaches up because it's antennas, right? That message begins to tell the imaginal cells what it's creating. It's creating a butterfly. The imaginal cells actually take the goop in the dead material of the caterpillar and create the butterfly. Now the butterfly, when it's whole, when it's got its wings, it looks beautiful, right? Each wing looks exactly the same, which is part of the mirroring effect, the butterfly effect. When that rhythm is right, when the frequency is right, it begins to eat its way. It has an enzyme that it emits from its mouth that eats its way out of the cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
As it eats its way out, it's strengthening itself. When it emerges, it is not related to the caterpillar. It flies where it pleases and pleases where it flies. Now check this out. Did you know that human beings have imaginal selves too?
Mm.
Did you know that when you go through hormesis, when you go through the test